For most of our lives, we've been told that seeds are one of the healthiest foods we can eat. They're natural, full of fiber, and packed with nutrients. Doctors, dietitians, even wellness blogs have praised them as heart-friendly, anti-aging, and perfect for snacking. But what if that story is missing something? What if after age 60 the same seeds that once gave us energy and balance could now silently work against us? You see, as we get older, our bodies change in ways most of us aren't taught to recognize. Our metabolism slows, our gut becomes more sensitive, our cells don't process fats and toxins as efficiently, and our inflammatory response becomes more unpredictable. That means the foods we used to tolerate in our 40s or 50s might now quietly spark joint pain, stiffness, fatigue, or digestive issues without us making the connection. And when it comes to seeds, this shift is especially important. Some of the most common seeds, ones you may be adding to your salads, yogurt, or breakfast bowls, may actually be contributing to silent inflammation, vascular stress, and nutrient imbalance in people over 60. This video isn't about fear or cutting everything out. It's about learning what works for your body now in this chapter of life, and how just a few thoughtful swaps can support your joints, heart, memory, and energy in ways you never imagined. So today we're going to walk through 4 seeds you should consider avoiding, and 4 powerful seeds that may become daily allies in your health journey. Let's begin with the first seed to watch out for, and it might be sitting in your kitchen right now: sunflower seeds. They seem harmless, right? You'll find them at nearly every grocery store, tossed into granola, sprinkled over salads, or baked into energy bars. Many people eat them for their vitamin E or crunch without ever questioning the long-term impact. But here's what most people don't know, especially after 60. Sunflower seeds are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6s are not bad by nature. In fact, your body needs some of them for normal function. The issue is balance, particularly the balance between omega-6 and omega-3. In younger people, this balance may be more forgiving, but in older adults, the impact is more pronounced. According to a 2022 study published in the journal Nutrition and Aging, the ideal omega-6 to omega-3 ratio should be around 4:1. But when seniors snack on sunflower seeds daily, that ratio can climb to 18:1 or even higher. This imbalance creates the perfect storm for chronic inflammation, which can show up as aching joints, swollen ankles, brain fog, or even increased risk of heart disease due to arterial stiffness. Inflammation is often described as the root of many age-related illnesses, and sunflower seeds, when eaten excessively, quietly feed that flame. Take the story of Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian. She was active, ate home-cooked meals, and walked daily. But she came in with swollen ankles, persistent fatigue, and general stiffness. After a full dietary review, we discovered she had been adding sunflower seeds to her meals almost every day, on her oatmeal, in her granola, and as a mid-morning snack. Her blood tests showed that her C-reactive protein, a marker for inflammation, was 3 times higher than normal. Once we removed the sunflower seeds and introduced a better balance using chia and flax, her swelling reduced within 10 days. Her walking time increased from 10 minutes to nearly 40 minutes without fatigue. 3 weeks later, her inflammation markers dropped by over 40%. So if you're over 60 and dealing with arthritis, fatigue, or unexplained soreness, sunflower seeds may not be as harmless as they appear. In the next section, we'll look at another seed that often hides in your pantry under a different name, and why it may be even more concerning than sunflower seeds. Now let's talk about a seed you might not even realize you're consuming. Unlike sunflower seeds that sit openly in your pantry, this one hides quietly in processed foods and salad dressings, and for seniors, it may be far more damaging. I'm talking about cottonseed oil. It doesn't show up on seed mixes or health food blogs, but it's one of the most common and inexpensive oils used in the food industry. And for older adults, it carries a hidden risk. Cottonseed oil is extracted from cotton plants, which are not actually grown as food crops. To protect themselves from pests, these plants naturally produce a chemical compound called gossypol. While it's effective in keeping bugs away, gossypol is toxic to humans when consumed regularly, especially in the small cumulative doses found in oils, and that's exactly the concern for people over 60. Gossypol has been shown in toxicology research to interfere with heart function by disrupting the electrical signals that keep your heart rhythm stable. It also blocks calcium absorption in muscle cells and hinders how your cells produce energy. According to a 2016 review published in Toxicology, reports long-term exposure to gossypol led to oxidative stress in cardiac tissue and interfered with potassium regulation, both of which can lead to fatigue, heart palpitations, or muscle weakness. Seniors are especially vulnerable because our bodies naturally slow down detoxification as we age. Our liver enzymes process waste and chemicals more slowly, and our electrolyte balance becomes more fragile. That means even small doses of toxins like gossypol, consumed daily through boxed snacks or low-fat dressings, can gradually take a toll. Consider Joan, a 70-year-old woman who had recently started a low-fat diet after being warned about her cholesterol. She replaced creamy dressings with bottled vinaigrettes, added whole grain crackers to her lunch, and snacked on so-called healthy granola bars. But within weeks, she began experiencing strange muscle cramps fluttering in her chest and a level of exhaustion that didn't match her lifestyle. Her EKG wasn't abnormal enough for medication, but something wasn't right. When we looked closer at her food labels, cottonseed oil showed up in nearly every product. We helped her replace those with whole food snacks like roasted chickpeas and homemade dressings made from olive oil and lemon. Within days, her muscle spasms eased. By the third week, the heart flutters stopped, and Joan said she finally felt like herself again. Now let's move on to the third seed, one that many people see as healthy but may quietly disrupt your body's balance, especially if you're over 60. I'm referring to white sesame seeds. These are the same seeds you find on burger buns in tahini and sprinkled over stir-fries. They're tiny, flavorful, and often praised for their healthy fats. But for older adults, they come with two specific concerns: mineral absorption and rising allergy sensitivity. First, sesame seeds are rich in a natural compound called phytates. While phytates help protect seeds in nature in the human gut, particularly in older adults, they can bind to essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and reduce how much of these nutrients your body actually absorbs. A 2020 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that diets high in phytates reduced calcium absorption by up to 27% in older adults, increasing the risk of weak bones and fractures. Second, sesame has become one of the fastest-growing adult-onset allergens in the United States. In fact, the Food and Drug Administration officially recognized it as a major allergen in 2023. But allergic reactions in older adults are often subtle, not the dramatic swelling or hives you might expect. Instead, they show up as low-level fatigue, chronic sinus issues, skin rashes, or persistent digestive discomfort. Linda, a 69-year-old retired nurse, is a powerful example. She struggled with joint pain, itchy skin patches, and constant bloating. She had already cut out dairy and gluten with no improvement. Eventually, testing showed she had a mild sesame sensitivity. The surprising part, she was eating hummus every day, which is made with tahini ground sesame. Once we removed it from her meals and replaced it with avocado and walnuts, her skin cleared up, her digestion settled, and her joint pain began to fade, something that medications hadn't been able to do for years. So, while sesame might seem harmless and even trendy in many health foods, it's important to know your body's response. For people over 60, small seeds can have a big impact. And in the next section, we'll explore a seemingly innocent superfood that, when eaten the wrong way, has landed seniors in the emergency room. Now let's turn to the final seed on our list of ones to avoid, and this might surprise you the most. It's the seed often praised by nutritionists, influencers, and superfood lovers. I'm talking about chia seeds. Yes, those tiny black seeds that show up in smoothies, puddings, and wellness powders. On the surface, chia seems like a nutritional powerhouse. It's rich in fiber, omega-3 seconds, and antioxidants. But for older adults, especially when used improperly, chia seeds can become a hidden hazard. The issue isn't the chia itself, it's how it's consumed. Chia seeds absorb up to 12 times their weight in liquid. That means when they come into contact with moisture, they swell into a gel-like texture. While this expansion is what makes chia pudding popular, it can be incredibly dangerous when the seeds are consumed dry or with too little fluid. For seniors who often deal with slower digestion, reduced saliva, acid reflux, or narrowing of the esophagus, these expanding seeds can cause serious blockages. This is not just theory, it's documented in real medical cases. One report from the Annals of Emergency Medicine described a 72-year-old man who ate a tablespoon of dry chia seeds, followed by a glass of water. Within an hour, he had a full esophageal blockage that required surgery. The seeds had expanded in his throat and formed a mass that couldn't pass. Sadly, stories like this aren't rare, especially as chia gains popularity in health-conscious older adults. We saw this firsthand with Roberto, a 74-year-old retired truck driver. His daughter gave him a wellness pack filled with superfood powders, one of which contained chia. Wanting to improve his digestion, he began sprinkling dry chia onto his cereal and into his smoothies without soaking it first. Within days, he felt bloated and couldn't have a bowel movement. The discomfort grew worse until he came in pale, distended, and in pain. Fortunately, after we stopped the chia and gave him gentle laxatives, his symptoms resolved. We switched him to soaked flax seeds and taught him how to properly prepare chia by soaking it in water for at least 30 minutes before use. Chia seeds are not the enemy. But for seniors, especially those with sensitive digestive systems, they must be used carefully. Always soak them fully, use small amounts, and avoid adding them dry to foods. In fact, if you've ever experienced constipation, sharp stomach pains, or difficulty swallowing after eating chia, it's time to reconsider how you're using them. There are safer options that offer similar or even better benefits without the risks. So now that we've explored the seeds that may silently be harming your health after 60, it's time for something more uplifting. The truth is, not all seeds are harmful. In fact, some can actually support healing, restore balance, and help you feel more energized, focused, and mobile than you've felt in years. These seeds, when used properly, can help reduce inflammation, support healthy blood flow, improve digestion, and even sharpen your memory. In the next section, we'll reveal 4 seeds that have shown powerful results in both research and real-life stories. These are the seeds we recommend adding to your routine, not because they're trendy, but because they're practical, easy to prepare, and well-suited for the unique needs of the aging body. And the first one we'll explore is a seed that's gentle, creamy, and surprisingly powerful. It even helped one woman walk without her cane again. Let's dive into it. Let's begin our journey into the seeds that can truly support your health after 60. The first one is hemp seeds, tiny, soft, and almost buttery in flavor. While they come from the hemp plant, these seeds contain no THC and have absolutely no psychoactive effects. What they do have, however, is one of the most balanced and beneficial nutrient profiles for older adults. In many ways, hemp seeds are nature's gift to the aging body. The magic lies in their omega fatty acid ratio. Hemp seeds naturally contain a near-perfect balance of omega-6 to omega-3, about 3-to-1, which is considered ideal for reducing inflammation and maintaining cellular health. Unlike sunflower seeds, which can disrupt this balance, hemp seeds help restore it. That's critical for seniors dealing with chronic joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, or muscle weakness. But there's more. Hemp seeds are rich in gamma-linolenic acid, or GLA, a rare compound known to reduce inflammation, regulate hormones, and support skin and joint health. In a 2022 clinical study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition and Aging, older adults aged 65 to 79 were given 30 grams of hemp seeds daily. After 8 weeks, they experienced a 36% reduction in inflammation markers, a 19% increase in good HDL cholesterol, and a measurable improvement in grip strength. One of our most inspiring patients was S.A., a 76-year-old woman who had been using a cane for years due to arthritis in both knees. She had tried medications, creams, and supplements without lasting relief. After reviewing her labs, we found chronic low-grade inflammation, so we introduced hemp seeds into her daily breakfast. Just 3 tablespoons blended into a smoothie with almond milk and a few dates. By the 3rd week, her morning stiffness had eased. By week 6, she was walking without her cane on most days, and by the end of 2 months she was even kneeling in her garden again, something she hadn't done in years. Hemp seeds are easy to add to your routine. They require no soaking, no grinding, and no preparation. Just sprinkle them on oatmeal, stir them into yogurt, or blend them into a smoothie. Their soft texture also makes them ideal for seniors with dental concerns. If you're looking for a simple, gentle, and powerful daily habit, this is one of the best places to start. Now let's move to the second seed that deserves a daily spot on your plate: pumpkin seeds. Also known as pepitas, these flat green seeds are small but mighty. They're one of the richest natural sources of zinc, a mineral essential for immune health, wound healing, and muscle repair. As we age, our stomach acid levels decline, which makes it harder to absorb zinc from food. That can lead to slower recovery, more frequent infections, and even increased fatigue. Pumpkin seeds also provide magnesium, another mineral that supports over 300 functions in the body, including muscle relaxation, sleep quality, and nerve signaling. A 2019 study published in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition looked at older adults suffering from leg cramps and poor sleep. After just 4 weeks of consuming 30 grams of pumpkin seeds daily, 71% of participants reported better sleep and leg cramps were reduced by nearly 50%. Adil, a 73-year-old man who had spent decades in construction, came to us complaining of restless legs at night and tingling in his calves. He had tried calcium supplements and drank plenty of water, but nothing worked. His tests showed low magnesium and borderline zinc deficiency. We recommended a small handful of lightly roasted unsalted pumpkin seeds each day. Within 2 weeks the cramps stopped, and within 1 month he slept through the night for the first time in years. His wife even joked that she could finally sleep too, because his legs had stopped jumping in the bed. So if you're dealing with poor sleep, muscle twitching, or slow healing, pumpkin seeds might be the missing piece. And the best part, they're affordable, accessible, and don't require any complicated preparation. In the next section, we'll look at 2 more powerful seeds, one that helps balance hormones and digestion, and another that's long been used in Eastern medicine to support memory and circulation. As we continue exploring the best seeds to add to your routine after 60, let's turn to one that is often overlooked yet quietly powerful: flax seeds. They may not look impressive on the outside, but what they do inside the body is nothing short of remarkable. Flax seeds are one of the richest plant sources of omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, which helps calm inflammation throughout the body. But that's just the beginning. What truly sets flax seeds apart is their high content of lignans. Lignans are natural plant compounds with antioxidant and hormone-balancing properties. They help support cardiovascular health, digestion, and even hormonal stability, which becomes increasingly important as we age. For seniors, this means a gentle but effective way to reduce cholesterol, improve regularity, and support a healthier heart. In 2018, researchers published a study in the journal Hypertension Research involving older adults over 70 who had borderline high blood pressure. One group received a daily muffin made with 30 grams of ground flaxseed, while the control group received a similar muffin without flax. After just 6 months, the flax group saw their systolic blood pressure drop by 15 points and their diastolic by 7. That's a result comparable to many first-line blood pressure medications without the side effects. One of our patients, Yusef, a 68-year-old retired taxi driver, had struggled with both high cholesterol and chronic constipation. His daughter suggested he try adding flax to his breakfast, and we supported the idea with one important note: flax seeds must be ground to unlock their benefits. Whole flax seeds often pass through the digestive system without being absorbed. So he started with 1 teaspoon of freshly ground flax each morning stirred into yogurt. Within 3 weeks he reported daily effortless bowel movements, something he hadn't experienced in years. Over the next 3 months, his total cholesterol dropped from 218 to 174, and his triglycerides fell by over 30%. To get the most out of flax seeds, make sure they're ground fresh and stored in the refrigerator to preserve their delicate oils. Add them to smoothies, oatmeal, or mix into soft foods, but avoid cooking them at high temperatures, which can damage their nutrients. Just a small daily dose can create noticeable improvements in digestion, blood pressure, and overall vitality. Now let's move on to our final seed, one that has been used in traditional Eastern medicine for generations: black sesame seeds. These are not the toasted white sesame seeds you find on hamburger buns, but rather the unhulled, deeply pigmented version that retains far more nutrients. Black sesame seeds are rich in lignans just like flax, and packed with minerals like iron, magnesium, and calcium. What makes them especially valuable for older adults is their ability to support cognitive function and vascular health. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry, adults aged 65 to 78 who consumed just 2 teaspoons of ground black sesame daily experienced a 13% drop in systolic dark blood pressure and scored 22% higher on memory recall tests after 60 days. That's the kind of change that can help you stay sharp and independent as you age. We once worked with Siam, a 70-year-old retired math teacher who had begun noticing forgetfulness and declining energy. Her blood pressure was also climbing. Rather than rushing into medication, we introduced a small but meaningful habit: a teaspoon of ground black sesame mixed with warm water and honey each morning. Within weeks her focus returned, and her blood pressure dropped from 142/88 to 128/80. She even joked that she could now recall the names of her former students with ease. The key with black sesame is moderation and preparation. It must be ground or soaked to enhance absorption, and it should be part of a balanced, varied diet, not something to overconsume. For seniors seeking memory, support, blood pressure control, and antioxidant protection, black sesame is a beautiful addition. In our next and final section, we'll tie everything together and reflect on how small choices like which seeds you eat can shape your energy, mobility, and overall well-being in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. As we come to the end of this journey, one thing becomes clear: seeds are not just tiny bits of food, they are powerful tools. And after the age of 60, those tools can either support your body's natural healing or quietly work against it. What worked for you 20 or 30 years ago may no longer serve you now, but that doesn't mean you have to give up hope or feel overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there. Today we've looked at 4 seeds that many people over 60 are consuming daily without realizing the impact. Sunflower seeds, so innocent at first glance, can overload your body with omega-6 fats and worsen joint pain. Cottonseed oil hidden in processed foods contains natural toxins that can strain your heart and muscles. White sesame seeds, though popular, may block mineral absorption and trigger hidden allergies. And dry chia seeds, if not soaked, can swell dangerously inside the gut and cause painful blockages. But the good news is, just as powerful, with simple shifts, you can replace those risky seeds with choices that bring real, measurable benefits. Hemp seeds to calm inflammation and boost muscle strength, pumpkin seeds to support sleep and ease leg cramps, flax seeds to reduce cholesterol and improve digestion, and black sesame seeds to nourish your brain and balance blood pressure. These are not magic pills, they're not part of a fad diet. They are whole, accessible, affordable foods that honor the natural wisdom of your body, especially in this new chapter of life. You don't need to do everything all at once. Even starting with just one small change, like adding a tablespoon of hemp seeds to your breakfast or swapping out cottonseed oil for olive oil, can set a new course for your health. Because after 60, health is no longer just about avoiding illness. It's about staying mobile, feeling clear-headed, sleeping through the night, and having the energy to enjoy your day. It's about feeling strong enough to garden, walk with your grandchildren, travel with ease, or simply wake up without pain. So now I'd love to hear from you. Have you tried any of the seeds we talked about today? What's been your biggest challenge lately? Your joints, your digestion, your sleep? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every message and we reply with real tips and support, because this is not just a channel, it's a community of people who care. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with someone you care about. A parent, a friend, a neighbor. Because small changes shared with love have the power to ripple across generations. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to care for your health. And remember, you're not too late, you're not too old, and your body hasn't given up on you. Let's keep choosing what supports us, one simple habit at a time.